somewhere around 12 states people have joined me for this session. I am so thankful to everyone so that they have joined me. So today's topic will be a Pandas 2, which is as per the CBSE curriculum. Whatever we have done in Pandas 2, whatever we have to do in Pandas 2, I am covering this. Maybe that will be again reduced by syllabus by CBSE, but till the date it's not being reduced. So we have to cover Pandas 2 this year for the class 12 session 2021-2022. So that's the concern. So I'm sharing my screen with a curriculum, then I'll explain what we have to do. I hope my screen is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is Pandas 2. I was just writing some comments. This is Pandas 2 and these are my various social media links wherein you can join me. This is YouTube channel, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter and Wakelet, wherein you will get a PDF of the file which I am using. And even on the YouTube channel, I'll write a description wherein I'll add this file as a PDF. So now what is the syllabus? So syllabus says descriptive statistics, that is max, min, count, sum, mean, median, mode, quantile, standard deviation and variance. These are the topics which are more related to the statistics. As we know that we are training students for the data analytics and data science. So the student should be aware of all these terms. If you go with the machine learning, if you go with some other concept wherein these models and these concepts are required. So that's the reason this being included in class 12 syllabus, so that once the student wants to go ahead in data science or data analytics, he should be known to some concepts of class, some concept of statistics. Even you see the class 11 book, they have given mathematical statistical formulas and they have solved all these things manually with a normal mathematical way. So they want the student should be aware of how these things calculated, because in computer science or in Pandas or in IP syllabus we just write df.std, it will give me the standard deviation. But what is the standard deviation? What is the meaning of the standard deviation? How normally it is to be calculated? So all these things are given in class 11 book, and as per the curriculum development committee member, we want the student should be aware of all these things. Then we have a data frame operation, which is aggregation. Aggregation is nothing but a combination of descriptive statistics, wherein in descriptive statistics we write individual function. For example, we write df.max, so maximum will be given. So, but if we want all these functions which are given in descriptive statistics, I want simultaneously used, so I can use aggregation. Then we have a group by. How to use a group by? We can have a multiple group by. Then we have a sorting. Sorting can be done in two ways: sort underscore values or sort underscore index. There are two functions. Deleting and renaming index. If you go with a Pandas documentation, you will see that there are so many things are written on this, but you have to stick to the NCERT book rather than any other book. Whatever we have covered in NCERT book, you must stick to that only. Never go with beyond this. You can give practice from other books, but the content which we have written, the functions which we have written in NCERT, that is required to be understood by the student. That's it. Nothing more in that. You should not go beyond all these things, because if you see, as the data scientist, we have n number of functions. So data cleaning is required, wherein you need a certain concept. So we are giving introduction to everything. We are not giving everything. For example, if you talk about the pivoting has certain other concepts like stack, unstack, which is again an advanced form of pivoting. Handling missing value, again a dropping and a filling value. So filling is not there, but I am filling some value. Estimation. Then we have a concept of importing and exporting data between MySQL database and Pandas. This portion is only for practical. Nothing will be asked in theory exam. So it means for the theory point of view, students should be able to work on these things. Now, first I am importing the two files, import pandas as PD, import numpy as NP, both the files I am importing. And next step, I am creating a data frame with the three columns, name, age, and points. For the descriptive function, I am taking care of this data frame, which I have created with three columns with the 12 rows, and I will be using further. I'll be using this only. So this is my pd.series. Even I have taken a concept of series. I have created a series here, and then I am creating a data frame. Index value I am taking the default, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, and I have just execute, my data frame will be created. So this is the first concept wherein I am creating my data frame with the help of series, as the student have already done in class 11 series. So we can use series to create the data frame. We can also create the data frame from importing, from taking data from the CSV file. That's my wish. So I have taken this data from the. Now, what is a descriptive function? Descriptive function, as the name suggests, these functions are used to describe the quality of the data, what we summarize, and these are single statements functions which can help us to calculate maximum, minimum, median, mode in a single line. So if I write df.max, the name of the data frame, and max, so it will display me the maximum of all the columns. Rather than giving a numeric value, it will give me maximum value for all the columns. That's the reason name, Vinny, age 40, and points 40, 4.8 is visible. But I want a particular column to be displayed maximum, so I can write here. But I can write df.age, which will extract the column, and then I have written the function max. So once I'll execute this, it will display me the maximum age. So it means I can use multiple columns, or another concept which I have written down, which is numeric only. If we want a numeric only, it means if I have a data frame which consists of 10 rows or 15 columns, wherein some data are numeric, some is string type and object type. So if we want to calculate for maximum only for numeric, so we have an argument called numeric underscore only equal to true, that will display the maximum value of all the numeric columns only. So that's the reason we can use for numeric. I have used certain other query type questions for doing this, like herein. I hope this much is clear to everyone, that when I write df.max, it will display the maximum value for all the columns. When I say df.age.max, it will display the maximum age. When I say df.max numeric underscore only equal to true, that will display all the maximum of all the numeric. Herein I am using two columns and displaying the maximum value. Now I can do the maximum on the basis of conditions. So I've used, even you can break out these queries into the simple steps, wherein I've used 3 lines. Basically, this is a 3-line code. What I can do, I can just find out the people who are age greater than 30. Then I am getting points and then maximum. So what this question is that I want to display the maximum points of the people who are greater than of age 30. So that is what this is the query. This is the simple panda statement which I have written. I said we can write into 3 statement as well, which is df. I can say df.age greater than 30. I can store into the x, and then I can write like this, x points. So I can break.
The reason here one square bracket is missing, I think.
What?
df and df dot age greater than this, and then points. So one square bracket is missing, I think. No.
Here,
Is it correct?
yes, ma'am, it is correct. I have executed.
Okay,
Okay,
okay. Yeah.
right? Because when you have a multiple column, then you need a double brackets. Herein, you need a double bracket because you are catering to the multiple columns. When you are catering to a single column, there is no need of a double square bracket. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
so it means these kind of question we can create because the problem will come to us when we say descriptive function. What is that? That we write df.max will get our maximum value. So what we can, how we can access the student on the basis of this? So I have created few questions on the basis of this, that you can ask these kind of questions wherein you have placed the condition, then you are asking for the maximum. Displaying the name of the person whose maximum point with the age greater than 30. Herein I have used the Bela ma'am name. So it means this is a combination of 2-3 statements. Even this can be asked for a 2 marks question. I have just extracted the same query and I've stored in A. So what is the value of A? It is 4.1. I think someone is waiting in the lobby. Abhishek sir, you are late. Session already started. Okay, so df.age greater than 30 points max. So I have asked for the value and then I have placed that df points equal to A, find out the name. So that has given me the name of the person who is having maximum points with the age greater than 30. Is this concept is okay with everyone? So this kind of questions we can create from the descriptive statistics. Now by default it goes row wise, but if you want the maximum value column wise, write x is equal to 1. So I have written here df max x is equal to 1. So out of the numeric value, it's showing me maximum in row wise. Otherwise it is column wise. Otherwise it is row wise. Now it is column wise. Is it okay? Wait.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now that I have already explained, printing the maximum of numeric value. Now this, I think you have cleared with the maximum. So rest of the function I've just used, I've written df.min. It will display minimum of all the values. Then df.count. If count function, again, as we do in MySQL or somewhere else, that count function will not count the null value. So we have nan, because nan plays very important role in data frames and data cleaning, because we have a data which maybe will not get some value, so we have to do certain work. So we have to use these kind of concept df.count, which will not count the null value. Again, I have used some numeric value. If I am not use, it will add all the names as well. So I have specifically used df.sum numeric only equal to true, so that only sum of the numeric columns will be displayed. Then we have a mean, so I'll write mean. We have a median. Median is a midpoint. Then we have a mode. For mode, I have used a column name to display the mode. It means you can use all the concepts which we have discussed in maximum function. Herein, you can use the same concept. It means we are talking about conditions. This is a variance and this is a standard deviation. So we can use a simple of all this. This is the concept of descriptive function. When I say default df.quantile, so it will display, because quantile have a 3 values, 0.25, 0.5 and 0.75. 0.5 is median only. In quantile, 0.5 is median only. If you see the answer of median, and so median is 27.5 and point is 3.78. If you see, I have written df.quantile, it's same. So by default, if you will not write any argument in df.quantile, it will display the 0.5 variation. Otherwise, you can write in square bracket whatever you want. So herein I have written 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, यानी कि I want third quarter should be displayed along with the median along with the first quarter. So quantile is basically if you have a 1 to 10 records, the first quantile will be 2.5, the third quantile will be 7.5, and the median will be the 5. So that's the concept of a quantile wherein we want. Even if you see the box plot, we have a data visualization wherein we have a box plot. If you see the box plot, it automatically displays all these values. The purpose of box plot is this only, that we want to display the median and the quarter 1 and the quarter 3. Now, as I have already explained the purpose of an aggregation, because when I talk about descriptive statistics, so it will take only single function at a time. But if I want all the functions together, so I can use the concept of aggregation. So aggregation means to transform the data sets and produce a single numeric value from an array.
Sir, excuse me.
Apply to one or more column together. So we can apply one or more. So simply I have used df.aggregate sum, or I can write df.sum. The answer remains same. But I cannot.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, like this, these deviations, mode and median, when we are teaching to the students, how to mathematically teach them, like, that they calculate it manually on a piece of paper and they get the answer which they can see on the system.
That is there in the class 11 syllabus. We have one chapter of calculating all these things.
All right, sir.
Right? We have a chapter in class 11 syllabus wherein we have to calculate. We have to even you can skip. That's up to you. But CBSE says the student should know all this thing, and that's the reason we have included in class 11 syllabus.
All right, so it is not necessary that they know manually, but yes, the use of function is something which is to be known by them.
At least few students can ask you, not all.
Right.
So
yes.
You should be aware of that class 11 syllabus. We have these kind of things.
Right. Yes. Right. Thank you, sir.
So displaying sum count maximum age of point column. So herein I have used extracted. This is the way I have extracted. I can use LOC, ILOC function, but I never use because my work, I can work like this as well. Even I have given this same concept in NCERT as well. They have used LOC, ILOC, but I have given whatever the example I have done in Pandas 2. Most of the things I have written in Pandas 2 of NCERT. So I have given this concept as well. So df age point, and then I have used count and numeric only. I can use, it's up to me, because herein I am using a column and herein I am using numeric only. If we have a more columns, then we can use this concept. Otherwise, I have used sum, count, and max, and that was not possible in descriptive function. That's the difference between aggregation and descriptive statistics. If you want all the statistics in a one go, you can use a function called df.describe, which will give you single statement, give you all the descriptive indicators in a single statement with a function called describe. So that is, I've used df.describe. Automatically it will take care of numeric columns only. It displaying the count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 3 quantiles, and maximum. So these are the values which automatically will be displayed using a function called df.describe. I think this is not written in the NCERT book, this function, but you can teach one or two functions extra as well. Now sorting a data frame. The third concept is sorting. Means if you want to, like we have an order by clause in MySQL, herein we can sort the values according to some data. So what is the function? We can say df.sort_value is a function by which column. So I have written df.sort_value values by equal to name. So it will sort my complete data according to the name. So Amit, Bela, Deen, Gauri, Jitinder, it's being sorted. Now, if I want to display only name column, so what I have done, extracting only names, because when I am sorting, it's sorting the complete data frame. Herein what I have done, another step, another question point of view, I have asked, I said display only name. You sort the data, but display the column only name. So herein I have sorted the data frame and then extracted the value in X. So X is my data frame. The data type of X will be a data frame, and then I'm extracting only one column, which is name, and displaying it. So this is the 2-line code. 2 marks question can be given to students, that first sort the data and extract this value. Now, next concept is displaying complete data frame in descending order of age. So what will be the syntax of this? So I have written here df.sort underscore value by the column name ascending equal to false. So whenever you have to do, by default it is always ascending, and you need to write an argument wherein you can say ascending equal to false, which will display the data in descending order. So whenever you have to display descending order, you need to use an argument ascending equal to false. So if you will see, the age is being displayed in reverse order. So that is sort underscore value. Now, conditional based sorting. So I have extracted the record of the students, or whatever I can say. I have just extracted the students, and then what I am doing, I have just extracted the record points greater than 4 and then sorting the value. Again, I have combined the 2 queries wherein I am filtering the data and then I am sorting. So this is a filter based. I hope you have already taught student in place equal to true, because some or most of the function in pandas are normally in place equal to false. It means when you do this program, run this statement, the data frame, the original data frame will not change. If you want the original data frame should change automatically, so you have to use in place equal to true. It means with this statement, the original data frame can be changed, or you can use df equal to df dot sort value. So it means whatever the value it is returning, it will be stored in original data frame, and that will be sorted. Otherwise, you can use in place equal to true. Yes, somebody wants to ask something? Now,
Naveen sir, why do we use in place actually?
in place means the original data frame must be changed. If you will not use the original data frame, you will get the result in sorted order, but the original data frame remains same.
Okay sir, okay, thank you.
When you have to change in original data frame, then you write in place equal to true. Now, I have changed for group by, because in group by we use whenever we teach students, we say group by can be only be advantage when you are using an aggregate
So
function.
can we do sorting on 2 columns?
What, ma'am?
Sorting on 2 columns.
Yes, ma'am. You can write in square bracket sorting by this and then sorting by this.
So first preference will be given to first column and then second
Yes,
preference.
I have done here name and age.
Yes.
Fine, I have done here name and age. If Amit, if there will be 2 Amit, this will be sorted after Amit, it will be sorted in the age. Now, so whenever we teach group by, basically I have read it in the, somebody wants to join. Who's this? Who's this? Lippy Malhotra. Somebody has given link to someone else?
No.
I think she's not registered. Otherwise, I should not get the. Okay. So function is used to split into group based on some conditions, criteria, then split the x's and then combine it. It's a very good figure given in the NCERT book. If you have an NCERT book, you can refer. If you want, I can show you the figure of group by. It's a very brilliant concept given in some books. So we have taken from there group by. Not open, sorry. So this is the NCERT book which you have to refer. I think you must refer this book only for all the functions which we are covering in the book that will be asked in CBSE. Even I was not aware of this concept group by happen like this, because whenever we used to teach, we say whenever you have an aggregate function, then we use group by. But this figure shows me a clear picture what is a group by. Basically, group by is a split the data into groups by object, original data frame, apply the required function, and then combine it. So this is the figure which we have given. Let's say you have a key data, and this is a data. So on the basis of a key, it's differentiated A, B, C, and then again applied a sum function and display. I hope you like this picture. So that is what the split, apply, and combine is the group by used in pandas, wherein we are grouping, splitting, and then applying. So coming back to the group by function, df.stream. I have added one more column here because I want more grouping. Herein I can group with points because there is nothing similar values. I can group by age, or I can group by with stream, because there should be some duplicated value. So herein I have used another concept, wherein what I am doing, I have just added another column called grade. Based on the condition, I have used another method of numpy.where. I have written here df.points. If point is greater than 3.5, assign the grade as A, else assign the grade as B. So I have added another column called grade, which will be based on a certain conditions of the depends upon a point. So this is a way you can add a condition on the basis of some add a column on the basis of condition. So you can see my new column being added on the basis of a condition that required in group by. That's why I have added. So if you write simply df.group by stream, nothing will happen. It will just say panda score group by generic data frame grouping happen. But if you will not use any aggregate function, there is no point to use group by. So herein I have done df.group by age and then aggregate maximum and count. So I have used group by. So you can see I have not specified the column name. So it means all the columns or group by will be applied to all the columns. So I have a name, age, points, stream, and grade. So I am grouping based on the age. So we have an age here, and it's showing me the count of age 23.2, maximum of the age, maximum of the point, and stream. So it will be applied to all the columns. Again, you want to apply for the certain columns, you can write the column names here. So herein I have written the two columns. I want the group by should happen to the points and grade. There is no point to use with a name or with a string. So I have written the column names. So now this data is a little bit readable manner. The previous data was not in a readable manner because there is no point to do some aggregation or some group by on the string values. So 23 maximum is 3.8 points and grade is B at the age of 23. How to read this data at the age of 23? The maximum count is 23 people have a 2 and the maximum of 2 is 3.8 and the grade is B. Now group by in NCERT, I don't think so they have written all these functions. So with group by you can use multiple columns as well. Means multiple functions, mean, sum, size, count, standard deviation. With group by as well, you can use all these functions. So herein I have used group by.agg describe. It will display the complete descriptive statistics with my group by. Even I can write here the name of the column in AGG, whatever the columns I want sum, I want count, I want max. I can write it. So AGG is a function which can be used with a group by. And if I write describe, so it will describe my complete data frame. Now, I've used here a single column with maximum value only. Two columns grouped by. I can do a grouping on the basis of the two columns displaying again age. Now, deleting and renaming the index. It's a very because the question arises why we need to rename the index, why we need to delete the index. So we can do that because as we know the accessing of a data is very efficient when we do something on the index. So sometimes we have to use index as a name. So that's the reason this concept is there in the pandas. So database table at the cost of additional write storage space to maintain the index dataset. That improves the speed of data retrieval operation. That's the reason we have a two function called set index. I can say I have copied the data frame because I don't want my original data frame should change. So I've copied my df to df2, and then I have said df2.set underscore index to name. I have changed the index value. And then again I've done, and the reset is a function which will reset. Again it will come back. So reset and set index are the two functions which will reset and which will set the index. Now pivoting. As most of the people are having a trouble in pivoting, so I'll going very slow. I'll cover up the back exercise of NCERT chapter as well for you. Chapter 2, chapter 3 back exercise I will also discuss at the end. But right now I'm taking pivoting. So pivoting is similar as Excel. So when we say reshaping of a data in pandas, we come to the concept comes to the mind is pivoting. And advanced pivoting is stack and unstack options are also available, but we will stick to the pivot and pivot underscore table. Now, what is the difference between pivot and pivot underscore table? Both the function by default displays the main value, but if you are using a pivot, you cannot use the other aggregate functions like sum, count, max. You can use only one function, that is default function, which is a mean function. Both the function displays you the mean by default. So for this pivoting, because I need a data frame accordingly so that I can apply the pivoting, so I'm changing the data frame. The names are same, but herein the changes are in the grade. So I have a different grades for different people. 4.8 is A, 4.10 is B. So and we have a points as NaN. So I'm applying pivoting because to do the pivoting, you should have a data set according to the pivoting, wherein you can apply the pivoting. So I can do the pivoting on the basis of grade, points, and age. I cannot do the pivoting on the basis of a name because names is a unique names. If we have a multiple columns, then we can apply pivoting on the name. So we can apply the pivoting on the basis of age, points, and grade. Now pivoting is the Excel type data sheet given to us. Now let's see the first pivoting, wherein I have just used pivoting on the base of grade and age. Base of grade only. So I have written here because the new data frame name is dfp.pivot, on which column, because here in the indexing, here in the grouping, as the grouping and the pivoting have a difference. In grouping, we used to do grouping on a one column only. But in pivoting, we have to group on the basis of a row and a column both. So that is what the pivoting is. We want a data which, like we have a stream, and we want a stream wise the maximum marks. Herein we have a stream, above we have a maximum marks. So grouping can help us. But if we have more like computer science, physics, different subjects, so we can have a subjects on the ahead and stream on this side, so we can have a multiple column row wise and column wise both, then we need a pivoting. Again, I'm explaining why we need pivoting. When we have to do grouping row wise and column wise both. If you have to do grouping row wise only, then you can use group by. But if you want to display two ways grouping, then you need a pivot. Now, as I have not used because there are three arguments required for pivoting: index, column, and values. Index means row on which you want a grouping. Column means the column you want on the upper side, on the column side, and values on which you want to apply the pivoting. So in the next statement, I have used index equal to grade, columns equal to age, and values equal to point. Now, how to read this data? So if you see, there are so many NaNs wherein the data will be not there, it will automatically take NaNs. So grade A, age of 23, there is no one. If we have a more people on the age of 23, we can get some mean value of 23. So herein there is no one. So here in A, at the age of A, we have our people with a 29 age and 30 age. So we are having 4.6 and 4.8. It means if you see the data, complete data, you will see this is my data. For grade A, we have a two people. We have a two people on the grade A. And grade A under age is 30 and 29. So you can see the data here. A, 29 and 30. So that's why the column wise and row wise grouping happening. I think I'm clear with this, or you want me to clear more? Kamala ma'am?
Yes, sir, but maybe we should go through it to understand it better. But as of now, what you're saying is giving a little bit of clarity to the topic. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
So, sir, I have a doubt. Vandana Malik this side. Sir, what is this values is equal to points?
values equal to point means the data which you want to display on the mean. Because you want the mean value of grade wise, age wise. You want the mean value of, for example, if we are having more than thousands of data and the people of a grade A with the age 29, let's say 10 people. So that 10 people mean value will be here. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Now, we have fill NA function, which you can use to fill NaN with a blank or any other value. If you write 0, it will be filled with a 0. Now you can clearly read this data. Very easily you can read the data. Where is the data? Here is it. So you can read it very easily because there is nothing NaN. So at the grade B, we have a person with a 25. All the students who are having an age of 25 getting B are having a mean age as 4.3, 4.23. So that's this way you can read the data. Now, if you see here, I have used only the mean value. If I use .agg function or any other thing, it will not display. It will give me the error. While I'm just copied the same line because I want to display the mean value. So I have changed pivot to pivot underscore table. The same output will come. But as I said, by default, it will take only mean value. You cannot apply sum, you cannot apply maximum, you cannot apply count. So in the next statement, I have used DFP pivot underscore table index. Again, I'm taking grade, columns equal to age, values. I can have a multiple columns because right now I'm having only one numeric column on which I want some combination, segregation. So combination of a data. So I have just written the points. you can write multiple columns here as well. And I am applying two functions here with the argument called AGG function min comma sum and fill underscore value equal to blank. So if I will not use, this will come up with all the NaNs where the data is not there, and I am displaying the data minimum. So example, how to read this data? It means at grade A, we have 4.6 is the minimum grade. A person who is having a grade A, and all the person who are at the age 29 with the minimum point is 4.6. Is this more clear to you, the statement? How I am reading this? I am reading grade A. The person who is getting A, it means it will segregate all the grade A people, and at the age of 29, all the 29 people, age people have a minimum point as 4.6 because we are having only one data and sum of this. So it's displaying the sum as well. So multiple descriptive functions can be applied on the pivot underscore table.
Sir, so then here when you have used min and sum, so it is displaying only min and sum, but it will not display mean.
Yeah.
In this case.
If you want a mean, you can write np.mean.
All right, fine.
Naveen sir, Kamala here. So if you see the data, if the sum, no wait, min and the sum are almost same value. So you mean to say there is only one person with these grades as of now according to your data?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Means to see the actual, because when you are reading a data, because when you are doing a data scientist or data analyst, you should know how to read the data. Then you should have a data that kind of where pivoting is required. Then only you can able to differentiate that pivoting actually working.
So you mean to say if your data has two entries with grade A,
yeah,
the minimum possibility, there's a possibility that the minimum will remain as 4.6, but the sum will be something else. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah. Okay. May I add one more data with the same 29 case,
yes,
so
sir.
that I can?
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Yes, sir. Please, one.
I'll add one because it is a CSV file. So you tell me what data I should add. Naveen with the age 29.
Yes.
And the data value will be, let's say, 2.98. Fine.
Okay.
And then the grade is, let's say, grade is E. Fine.
Okay.
So we are counting the points and age. Fine. And the grade must be same for the 29. A. I'm taking A only grade. Fine.
Yes.
This was my data value. I got another value. Some data will change them. I was here. Can you see now the figure is 2.98?
So can you just hold it, sir? Is 2.98 minimum. Yes, that is yours. You entered it newly.
Sum is 7.58.
Okay.
Fine.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir. But for the other grades, you have not changed, so it remains the same.
Yes.
Okay.
So
thank you, sir.
Again, I am doing some more pivoting. I have added another column, which called as a stream for. What will be the possible error? Can anyone tell me? Because I have added a column and here the value is less. No. So I am applying the pivoting on the stream now. Can you see? I have changed the indexing to stream and the column is age and values is point, so I am displaying the minimum. Is it clear? So we can have a indexing. Herein I have used indexing on name. So private underscore table function work like this. I hope this is clear to everyone. Deepti ma'am is here or not? Deepti ma'am, Deepti Malhotra.
Yes, sir, very much there.
Clear to all this concept, or you want
Yes,
more
sir,
explanation?
becoming clearer after every example.
Okay. Now dropping and missing value. So dropping and missing value, again I am using the same concept which is given in the NCERT. So I am using a same data frame, same data set which is given in the NCERT, wherein some missing values are there. So you can see, but in NCERT we have only these missing values. But I have changed few more missing values. You can see I have done missing values here. I have done missing values somewhere, some more missing values. So the first function which we are doing here is null, which will display the result in true or false. You have a huge data set wherein you have some values. So is null. So you can see it's showing me true, but it's very tough for someone to read through where are the truths. But you have a function called df.is null, which returns you true or false if the value is someone mic is on, please mute. So if you have a df.is null function, so it will return you true or false. Whose mic is this? Please mute. Now I have applied is null on the science, only science, so it displaying me true here, less star false. Now I am just counting is null any, means column wise. If we have in name, we have all the names. In UT column we have all the UTs, but in maths we have a null value. In science we have a null values. In SST we have a null values. In every subject we have a null. And I want to display how many null values are there in each column. So I have written here df.isNull, sum. So what will it will do? It will count the sum of all the values. So I am having one null value in maths column. Science I am having one, but in SST one of the student has missed 2 exams. That's the data set. Basically it's given the data set like this. We have a 4 UTs happen, and the marks of the students are given to you. The data set says you have a 4 exam data set, 4 exam data with you, but maybe student have missed some of the exams. So how to handle these kind of values where data is missing? One way is you just ignore. Drop NA is a function which ignore all the null values. Automatically all these columns which is having a null will be deleted. So whenever we do some data cleaning on the basis of eliminating or ignoring the values. Now when we have a sum function and then again sum function, so it's showing the sum of all this value, which is 6. So total 6 we are having null values in our data set. So the function is null, then sum, and then sum. So we have total 6 null values, NA and values in our data set. So herein I have written df.drop_NA. So you will see the 4th record where NaN was there. It's automatically ignored, and now I can store this data frame into another data frame because in place I am not using. So it means the original data frame remains same. So then I have used df, so my Raman is here only. If I use in place here, it means my new data set will be without this. I have not done this because intentionally I have not used in place, because now I want to fill this NaN with some value. That's possible that you can fill this NaN with some mean value, some estimation of the value. So herein I have filled all this NaN. This is my df, and I can filling the missing value will write right df dot fill na. Now my fill na is a function. np dot mean is a function which will calculate the mean value of maths, and that will fill all the NaNs with the mean of maths. So you can see the 18.6 being filled here, 18.6 somewhere else as well. So all the NaNs can be filled with a mean value, or you can write here 0. So all the NaNs will be replaced with a 0. Is it clear how to use NaN? Now the last concept is importing and exporting data between MySQL and Pandas. As I said in the starting, we only have to do the practical of this. Nothing theoretical will be asked in the paper, because specifically they have written this time practical only. So to do this, we need another library called MySQL Chemi. MySQL Alchemy is the library which will help us to communicate with the database with a Python program. So this library we need to use to interact with Pandas and MySQL. Is it clear to everyone? Now, how to install? Again, pip install MySQL Alchemy. Install on your system by going to the command prompt. If you are using IDLE, so you can use pip install MySQL Chemi. Now, two functions are required. First, import MySQL Chemi, which will import all the modules from the MySQL Chemi, and then I have to use from MySQL Chemi, use a module called Create Engine, which is used to establish the connection between SQL and Python Pandas. So that is the module which I need for connecting with Pandas with a MySQL. Now this Create Engine, now the Create Engine is a function, method, or you can say function, which help us to create the connection. So Create Engine is a method which will help us to create MySQL root with the username MySQL. SMSMB is the password of the database, and that this is my database. So I am connecting with a database called test. Engine equal to Create Engine. MySQL ://root is my username of my MySQL. SMSMB is my password of my data. MySQL, my localhost, as you know, we have to connect to a particular port. So this is 3306 is the default port number of MySQL to connect any of the outside application. Even if you are using PHP, you are using Java, you are using any. So normally the two port number used, we can use the default is 3306. We can use 3309, but in MySQL setting we have to change the port number. Then only we can use. And this is a function.
So this password is your MySQL password or
MySQL password.
So if I don't have a password, I don't have a password.
And you can leave it blank.
So it will be root:@localhost.
Yes. So df.to_ is a function. To_SQL is a method which will create a table. So if I say df2_SQL marks engine, engine is this variable name, the object of Create Engine. If exist, replace, index false, indexing, because I don't want the indexing of data frame should be copied to the my MySQL table. If I'll not take index equal to false, then the data frame indexing will also be copied to the SQL table. So I have used here index equal to false so that my indexing of data frame should not be copied to the MySQL. So this is a method. Once I array, the data frame will be. So I'll go to MySQL. I can show you SMSMB. Test. These marks table is being created. So if I delete the, let's say I'm deleting this drop table marks. So I'm deleting this so that you can see actually My code is working. So I'll run this. And then I'll say show tables again. So my marks table is here. And I can say select star from marks. So my complete data set is here. All the NaNs replaced with a null. Now I want this data frame to be back on my SQL table can be read. Let's say I can read a product table to data frame. I'll read product table. Select star from product. I'm reading this table to my data frame. So what is the code? The code is MySQL. The code is MySQL Chemi. Again, create engine, the same code, but herein I am writing the name of the table. I am writing product. So once I write product, my product table will be read out and that will be displayed into a DF mark as my data. I hope this is clear. This is your Pandas 2. You will get this PDF on this Wakelet @Naveen Gupta 429. You will get a PDF soon on this Wakelet account, and the video I'll upload soon on the YouTube channel. Let's talk about 4-5 minutes. I'll take more. This is my NCERT solution for Pandas 1 data visualization, Pandas 2. So I'll share with you Pandas 2 as exercise. Even you can go through it together with wherein I have given so many examples for the pivoting. So I'm just taking pivoting only. Pandas 2, I'm taking only pivoting to explain you more on pivoting. See, this is my data wherein I'm applying this is my data. I can group my data on the basis of degree. I'm grouping my data on the basis of degree, indexing as a name and column as a degree, name on the index side, degree on the upper side, and value should be score. And I'm using aggregate function NP mean. So you can see Aparna is in MBA and with a mean percentage of 90. So if we have a 2-3 Aparna, so it will show me the 1 Aparna with a value. So this way we can do the pivoting. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll share the feedback links. Wait for a minute. I'm stopping the recording and then we'll ask the questions. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining me.